Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy, Mr. Almighty Lewis, back at you with another video. And today we're going to be destroying the myth that introverts are shy people. So here's the thing. There's this little misconception, or should I say association, with the fact that introverts are shy. And that's not true. That's very not true. Even though, yes, for the most part, introverts can come off as that way when you do see them. You know, there is the characteristic of the fact that introverts, for the most part, don't engage in conversation and they don't necessarily talk as much because, and it's not because they don't have much to say, even though for the most part that tends to be the case. But what tends to happen is that, you know, we're very calibrated. As introverts, we're very calibrated with the way we socialize, meaning that we won't, you know, say what we want to say because we know that what we're about to say will have an effect. So we're very conscious of the fact that socialism, well, not socialism, but just socializing in general, there's a cause and effect there. So every time we put something out there, we say something, we know that it's going to cause an effect. And so, you know, for the most part, us introverts, we're very calibrated. Like I said, we have a purpose when we engage in conversation. And so, you know, if we say something out there, we have to keep in mind, is it really connecting? Is what we're about to say connected and associated with our purpose? So, for instance, who knows, maybe there's an argument going on, right? And so, you know, for the most part, an introvert won't go there and engage into the argument because why would he, right? But let's say that, you know, your purpose is to really defend this person. It's maybe one of them is your friend, and so you want to defend your person, and you want to defend your friend, and you want to really, you know, neglect the other person. You want the other person to really stop, and you want to really get the other person to stop. So what's the best way to do that? Well, who knows? Perhaps you know something about this other person, and so you go there, you get in the middle of the argument, and you just blast this other person, right? You just tell it to them, you give it to them. And so the thing is that right here, it's calibrated. So we went over there, we said what we're going to say, and we said it with a purpose because we want to shut this person down. We want to completely, you know, obliterate, you know, the argument by really obliterating the other person. And we want to show that we're standing up for somebody. In this case, we're standing up for our friend here. And so that's the purpose of the conversation. So we're not just going to go over there and just start arguing for a bunch of nonsense because, you know, that's not really who we are. And so that's just one example. But here's the thing, like, introverts are not shy. I mean, believe me, if there's enough motivation, if there's a purpose to speak, an introvert will speak. But if there's no motivation, there is no reason, there is no passion, there's really there's no point of engaging into a conversation. There's no point of doing it. There's nothing that us as an introvert that we want, you know, and that the only way to get what we want is through that conversation, then we won't do it. As opposed to the shy guy. You see, a shy guy can actually be an extrovert, you know, but for some reason they're just afraid of putting their voice out there. And so, you know, they pretty much just keep to themselves, even though they might be raging within to say something about, you know, who knows, maybe they want to comment on someone or they want something, but, you know, they're just too shy. They're just too scared of judgment. They're scared of, like, getting rejected. They're scared of, you know, not being corresponded with whatever it is that they ask for. And so, for the most part, you know, those are the shy people. So shy people can be introverts and also extroverts. But just being shy doesn't completely signify the fact that you're an introvert. It doesn't at all. And another thing is that you know, talking as much. So yes, like I said, introverts don't talk as much, and that's, like I said, with reason of purpose. But, you know, extroverts, for the most part, they talk a lot. They talk like forever, for every little thing. They feel like they need to talk, and they need to say something about it, and they need to continuously put their opinions out there over and over and over again. And the thing is that for the most part, when it comes to extroverts, some extroverts are calibrated and some are not. So the ones that are not calibrated are the ones that are always putting out their voice out there, and they're doing it, but they're not really doing it with a purpose. They're doing it with, of course, there is a purpose, but the purpose is it's a little bit ridiculous, to be honest, because their only purpose is really to voice their opinion, to say what they feel. And here's the thing: introverts understand that that's a very, it's kind of a weird thing to do, because here's the thing: like, us introverts, we tend to keep and reserve information on purpose, and that's with good reason, because like I said, we have a purpose. So who knows, maybe we're working in a company, and so we want to impress our boss, we want to impress our coworkers, we want to impress the people that work there, because we want to feel comfortable working there. So what are we going to do as introverts? Of course, we're going to calibrate a conversation and always lead it in the direction of comfort. So we're always going to try to settle every single argument, every single disagreement with some sort of comfort at the end. So we're willing to compromise when it comes to conversations, just to create that comfort, because our purpose, who knows, maybe it's to stay in that company for 2 years. So we want to stay in that company for 2 years, and we want those 2 years to be comfortable. We don't want to continuously be arguing, or we don't want to say anything that will completely compromise our position in the company. Or who knows, maybe you want to get a raise, maybe you want to get a better position within the company. So as introverts, we'll say the appropriate things, and we'll reserve certain things as well, just to make sure that purpose is attained. We won't let our ego, we won't let our sense of self and our opinions, get in the way of that, because we understand that this is a social world, and we have to say the right things to get what we want. And so if you want to learn more about that, of course, you can check out my book, From Loneliness to Social Competence, which just came out in audiobook version here on my channel. And if you want to download the ebook version, there's a link down below. You can download it for free. But yeah, in that book, I pretty much talk about how you can use communication and all the social skills that are out there and use them to your advantage to get what you want. But yeah, so moving forward. So yes, so as introverts, we are very calibrated. And because we're calibrated, we can come off as shy, because we just, there's going to be times where we just don't feel the need to talk. There is no purpose. So maybe we're like, we're at a social gathering, maybe everything's fine, everything's comfortable, there's not really anything that we really want. And if there is something that we want, we can pretty much go and get it ourselves. So in that point, if we're comfortable, we can get everything that we want for ourselves. There's really no need to engage in conversation, because there's nothing I need from the people around me. To me, they're like tools. And at that point, I don't need them. So I'm not going to go and grab them. So think about it this way. An introvert sort of sees people as tools. Think of you, being a someone who builds stuff. If you're not about to build something, why would you go and grab the hammer, grab the drill, get everything ready? Why would you hold a hammer in one hand and the drill in the other if you're not going to use them at that point? I mean, they're definitely useful tools, but it's not like you're going to go and build something right now. So there's no point of you grabbing those tools. Same thing with communication and people. If there's no purpose, if there's no reason for me, there's nothing that I want from these people, or there's no way that they can help me, then I won't engage in conversation with them. Now, of course, keep in mind, this isn't to say that, introverts are like using people as tools, all the time. Obviously not, because like I said, introverts for the most part are very, very good listeners. So because of that, we're very good listeners. So we're able to listen and understand the other person and be able to provide them with the value that they need as well. So extroverts, or just the other person in general, they always have a need. They always have some sort of need. And usually sometimes that need is to really listen, because like I said, extroverts for the most part, they talk and they talk and they talk and they talk like endlessly. And it's just like, damn, yo, like can't stop talking, right? But an introvert can bring really good balance to an extrovert, because the introvert can listen very, very, very well. And we can listen for hours on end. We can listen to anybody on it. And that's because, introverts have that ability to be able to listen. Now, if you want to learn how to listen better, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And I will teach you exactly how, as an introvert, you can develop your skill of being able to listen well. And who knows, maybe right now you're watching, you're an introvert, and for the most part, your listening skills are very good. But in this channel, I'm gonna teach you how to take them to advanced levels where you can listen to people, where you can really listen to them. And what I mean by listening to them is that you listen to them, and then you're able to provide some sort of value, depending on what you listen to. You're not just there listening and taking information, but I'm going to teach you how to actually take that information and utilize it properly so that you're able to provide some sort of value later down the run. And then those people feel really happy with you, and they feel like, oh my God, this person actually understood me, they heard me, and you're able to provide some sort of value later down the run. That's actually very, very exciting. And I'm not saying this in any manipulative way or anything. I'm saying this because, you always want to be providing value and stuff. So, this is one way you can provide value as an introvert, as I spoke in the previous video. So if you haven't seen that video, make sure you check it out, where I spoke to my introverted community, and really, the plans that I have with this channel, and how I'm gonna help introverts, and how introverts will rock on. But yeah, so definitely you have to understand that introverts are not just shy guys. We're not just shy. Okay, for the most part, we're not just shy, and you just cannot take the act of being shy as an indicator that that person is an introvert. Of course, if you're an extrovert watching this video, and if you're an introvert and you feel like you're just this shy person, because I felt like that at some point. I felt like, I'm just like this shy person who can't talk, who can't deliver anything, who can't make anything when it comes to being social. And so I pretty much lived like that for a couple of years, pretty much all my youth years, high school, middle school. It was horrible because I couldn't engage in any conversation, and I just didn't know why. I couldn't find the explanation. It was just too much. And so yeah, so you have to understand that. You have to understand that introverts, for the most part, will not be understood that much. But if you look here on YouTube and you look elsewhere, you'll find that there's a lot of introverts out there, and they've written a lot of things, and you can learn some really amazing things. Now, if you like the way I deliver my content, because my content is actually intertwined with personal development, which I have studied for almost 7 years now. I've been studying personal development, so I understand that really, really well. So if you want to understand how to not only understand yourself as an introvert, but also be able to work on yourself as an introvert, and be able to really exploit and really, tap into your full potential as an introvert, and be able to do some great and amazing things out there, make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I will upload some amazing stuff here regarding all of that. So yeah, especially if you're an introvert, you're really going to want to subscribe here, because I'm going to make you feel like you belong, because you're an introvert. All introverts, we got to stick together. But yeah, so there's that. So yeah, so as far as the shyness goes, yeah, I mean, if you're scared of being judged, if you're scared of somebody just really bringing you down with whatever it is that you're gonna say, and because of that you just don't say it, that is an indicator of shyness. And so you have to work on that. And for the most part, I can assure you that it's something that it takes a while for you to work on. And not only that, but it takes work to work on it on specific social situations, because there's a level of social situations. It's not like you can just resolve shyness altogether in one day or in 1 week. You can resolve it in 1 week, maybe for one specific area, but there's so many levels to social conversations that it could take you years to really get to all of them, because it's a whole different situation to overcome shyness in a social environment, like in a group environment, than it is maybe you're gonna give a presentation, or maybe you're gonna go and talk to a girl, or maybe you're gonna sell something somewhere, so you're gonna be a salesperson. So there's a lot of these are very different social situations, and there's a lot of very different dynamics being played on hand with these situations, and so all of these situations can create shyness, and so you have to learn how to deal with those individually. And so the only really way to really do that is to, of course, you study, and then you go and you actually execute. You have to get yourself into those situations, which is pretty much the hardest part, to proactively put yourself there, because you're already shy, you're scared, and so who's going to want to put themselves in a situation where they know it's going to be pretty intense, and it's just gonna, yeah, so yeah. But yeah, so that's the end of the video. I just kind of wanted to discuss that myth of, shy guys are introverts, because that's really not true. There's a bit of an association there, but it's not completely. One doesn't mean the other. So yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you comment down below if there's a specific video you want me to make. Anyway, I hope to see you guys in the next video.